Hello.
Hello.
Uh,
Is Keith, are you just moving your mouth there or
Yeah, just
Yeah.
he's just moving his mouth.
Yes, sir.
is that a Grinch hat I see?
It is a Grinch hat. Show him your Grinch hat, Eli. Look down. Look down.
Oh,
Nice.
Swag.
Nice.
Grinch
heck yeah.
swag.
He has culvers all over his mouth, so I apologize.
Hi.
Hey.
Say hi to everybody.
Howdy, partner.
Okay, say bye-bye. Say see you later.
Bye. Bye bye.
Ugh. Okay, I'll be right back.
Right.
Later.
Okay, since as is tradition, Nathan is now away from the mic. I was thinking, as we have shifted into Shadowmoor and we are consolidating power in the remnants of what formerly stood as like Lorwyn. So how do we keep him from attaining power again? So do we just kind of, is there like a bad area we can like leave him at, or uh
Oh,
because like the elves have had it too good, you know? Okay.
All
throwing
right.
them with the
All right.
furries. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sam,
Yes.
welcome, along with
Hmm.
everybody else, to episode 41 of Hexproof and Ward.
Pew,
Sam
pew, pew.
is going to be the one steering the ship this evening. Take it away, Sam.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is the up and coming set of Lorwyn Eclipsed. Do any of you know what has happened since the invasion of Phyrexia?
I do not. I would love to be educated though.
Well, before we get there, we'll do a little rundown. We all know that, well, anybody that plays, there was a block of plane of Lorwyn and Shadowmoor, two separate planes of existence that was separated by what they called the Great Aurora. Um, Una decided to not lose her memories by making sure that during the Great Aurora, because it would change the memories of all the creatures of the plane, she made it to where that transition would only happen every 300 years. She was ended up defeated by the planes of existence of multiple people of Kithkins and Ashlings and stuff like that. Marilyn of the Morning Song. Everybody hates Marilyn. That's the one that people can't draw and you lose 3 life to tutor and many
Hmm.
combinations with that card. She was end up defeated. Una was, and even though she is defeated, she does have her conscience that still sits in the plane of existence of Lauren. So we might see her. We don't know. But after the Great Mending, if everybody remembers that during the War of the Spark, the plane of existence was healed and it went back to a normal day, Shadowmoor and Lorwyn cycle, day and night cycle. But due to the events of the invasion of Phyrexia, it kind of has damaged it a little bit to where they are now merged as one plane. So now it sits as we have a third plane there, and that's the Eclipse plane.
Mm.
So when these creatures are in the Eclipse plane, they will start to gain memories of their past lives because every time they'd switch due to the Great Aurora, they would forget their past selves.
Hmm.
But if they stay in the Eclipse plane too long, they will permanently stay as that. So we'll see how that's going to translate into some of the cards.
It's
That's
interesting.
cool.
That's really
There's
cool.
one like Ashling card that's been spoiled, I believe.
Yes, Ashling Command,
Yeah.
something like
Well,
that.
so is one side a Lorwyn side, the other side a Shadowmoor side, or
No, it's all one.
All will be one.
The card,
um,
which I'm assuming Nathan will be bringing it up that everybody's been talking about, let me find out. Where you at?
Ashling rekindled?
Ashling's Command. It's a 3 blue and a red. It's a kindred instant elemental. Choose 2. Create a token that's a copy of a target element you control. Target player draws 2 cards. Ashling's Command deals 2 damage to each creature target player controls. Or target player creates 2 treasure tokens. So I'm going to think that's going to see a lot of use. I'm assuming that's going to be looked at for a while and probably sought after.
Yep. I would
Pretty
think,
solid.
yeah. Then I think what Keith was referencing was the Ashling Rekindled, where it is a
Yes.
two-sided card, and it
Yes.
does look like they have the Lorwyn Shadowmoor treatment, like he had mentioned. One side is
We
darker than the other.
well, in the past Lorwyn and Shadowmoor, Ashlings being during the day cycle, they were red, and during the night cycle, they were black. So it's curious to see that they've now changed it to blue.
Because it's not fully Shadowmoor, it's just Eclipse. So like blue is just halfway to that complete uh dark state, maybe.
Giants were typically red or white with some green. We haven't seen nothing of them yet, but we'll, you know, at some point. We now have merfolks that were mostly blue and green are now blue and white. So throwing some combinations at us. But I'm curious for anybody else that you guys want to talk about. What do you want to see coming from this since the day and night cycle is kind of fixed where it's actual natural rotation? What do you want to see come from this when we go back to this kind of British lore style set?
Hmm.
Well, I think just off the bat, I think this is building the foundation for a good year for these various typal commanders in like elves and fairies. I mean, they literally stapled Bitter Blossom onto a body. That was the
Keith's
uh,
Fairies deck loves that.
yeah. The Bitter Bloom Bearer, Fairy Rogue, Flash Flying for 2 black. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life and make a 1/1 blue and black fairy token with flying. So yeah, and then that's just the effect of Bitter Blossom on a body. So just kind of, I do like the echoing of old favorites and staples. Maybe could you Sam, could you help me with the name of the mean one that makes it so people couldn't draw and uh you helps you like look for a card? You mentioned that the Dark Elf,
Oh, Marilyn.
Marilyn. Yeah, I wonder if she'll get a reprint that is a little less mean or something like that, or something that echoes that design but is maybe a little less oppressive.
Well, what's actually funny with Marilyn, she's kind of the queen of the Fae currently. Let me double check this to make sure. She has made a pact with is it Rise or Reese, however you want to say the name. The redeemed one. I think that's the one they're talking about that we have
Oh,
from
the
past
elf.
sets. Um, he can no longer die if she exists, but if Una tries to come back, I guess Marilyn is supposed to be destroyed to stop it from happening. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I
If we
feel
even visit that again.
yeah, I feel like Lorwyn, maybe I'd have to look it up, but their cast of characters just seems lower than other planes, even though there aren't any planeswalkers on that plane
No,
necessarily.
they are before the Phyrexian invasion, they were spark blind.
Mm.
They knew nothing outside of what they had.
Yeah, it's sort of like an idyllic, cozy little plane.
And of
Well, at
course,
least
anytime
part of the time.
they'd learn something in their current plane, then they would transition to the night cycle. They'd forget everything from the previous one. They'd get new memories and they'd forget it. And it's so we'll see how that all ties together when everybody's memories are starting to be melded back together.
Well, if you look at the reversible shock lands, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Oh, that's
Sam,
fine.
Yeah, those
but
are
there's reversible shock lands in this set, and each of them have kind of big characters from Lorwyn on them. So Hollowed Fountain has Sig, Steam Vents has Ashling, Blood Crypt has Annie Grubb, Overgrown Tomb has Tristan, Temple Garden has Bridget. And on the lighter side, I guess you could say, it looks like the quotes are more positive feeling. And then if you flip them to the reverse side, the
Yeah.
dark side, it's more like doom and gloom type quotes. I haven't gone through and read every single one of them, but that's kind of what it seems like to me.
Yeah,
To
check.
put it plainly, during the day cycle, everybody gets along except for the elves. They're kind of xenophobic during the day cycle. When it comes to night cycle, everybody becomes xenophobic, and the elves are nice.
Yeah.
So far, as long as what we've seen, we are starting to get more elementals, and since we have been teased an elemental god, we're starting to see the elements starting to put more of a role to it. So I want to kind of see how that kind of plays out.
Yo, I just picked up a whole bunch of Master of Waves, and he gives elementals +1/+0. And he's a merfolk, and he's only $1 right now because he got some reprints. So I stocked up on him. Maybe this is my long shot call, but people might want to stock up on him earlier than later because you're gonna have merfolk support and elemental support in the same set. So commander players maybe pick him up.
Well, for an update, we also have something like Teferi's protection. It's called Morning Tide's Light. It's a 3 and a white sorcery. You exile any number of target creatures. At the beginning of the next end step, return those creatures to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control. So you could do anybody. But until your next turn, you prevent all damage that be dealt to, and you have to exile. So it's a way to,
Pretty good.
you know, save yourself and also maybe screw somebody else over, depending how you want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm mostly looking forward to cool new fairy support. Fairies are going to be super prevalent in this set. The art looks really nice so far, just going off of those flip like dual lands. And the incarnations are really cool. How each one has like a sort of modal effect based on how you evoke it. And those are pretty cool.
yeah. So. With that evoke, the you have the option of paying it for its evoke cost, which is ridiculously cheap, but then you sacrifice the creature immediately,
Hmm.
or you can cast it for its full cost and have creature ben the creature still exist and live. So that's evoke for it's an old mechanic that we're coming back to. So some people could have played for years and not run across it. It's really cool to kind of see some of these older
What
school mechanics coming back.
what's a popular one? Would that be Muldrifter?
Yeah, I think that's probably the most commander prevalent one, if I
Uh,
had to guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Even like
Hmm.
the level up cards, like the figure of Fable, the Kithkin. It starts out as just a Kithkin. You can pay to increase its power and toughness and make it a knight. And if it is, no, you starts with a scout, then it becomes a soldier, and then it becomes an avatar. So, and then we just had the avatar set. So then you're gonna have avatar support.
Oof.
But yeah, I think Lorwyn is going to do a good job of being a cushion between a lot of the sets that just came out and the sets that are coming out this year. I mean, elves and all of those classical high fantasy creatures before we get a Hobbit set feels like those are going to meld pretty seamlessly. Also, I was kind of joking about the Avatar thing, but still, I mean, Avatar, I don't know. There's enough there to there might be some general supports for those. I don't then even like the shapeshifters coming back to kind of bridge all the different creature types. Also, Mutable Explorer is the
That
spoiled changeling. Uh, he's a shapeshifter for 2 and a green, and when he comes into play, you make a Mutavault token, which is a land that can tap for colors, or you can pay 1 to make it a 2/2 creature that is every creature type and still land. So that is going to be seeing a lot of play probably in the various Badger mold decks out there in the world right
Hmm,
now, tearing up everyone's
true.
dreams.
Yeah, that card's so cool. I bet they're gonna do some cool stuff with changeling and shapeshifters and, different tribal or typal like spells. Maybe something they haven't done before.
Mhm.
Well, before we move on to the next part, Nathan, what are you hoping to see from this set?
Um, I've I I've kind of already seen it, but I'm looking forward to the art direction of this set. It seems weird, but some of my favorite artists are in this set, and some of their cards have already been spoiled. Omar, Ryan being one of the big ones. Um, but it looks like his art style kind of carried over into some of the other um, artists, which is kind of interesting to see. I don't know if they ever kind of. I'd like to know who the art director was for this set because there's kind of like a feeling of that high fantasy, surrealist type look for this set so far with the cards that we have. And I'm a really big fan of some of the alternate frames that we've got going on. Like the Fable frame is super cool looking. Um, and a lot of like the borderless is just beautiful. So um, I'm I don't know. It sounds weird, but I'm really looking forward to just seeing all these little pieces of art that we'll get to collect in this set because I mean so far it's a home run from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, aside from the constant Shocklands being reprinted, but I know some people are happy about that, but I think we were kind of beating a dead horse here with it, but we'll move past that. I
It
do
makes
think
it
the art
makes
so
them cheaper
far,
for everybody. It makes them
Yeah,
a little
for
bit more
standard.
attainable for everyone. So
it's with
it is
this,
getting to become like every other set.
yeah.
And I think what annoys me and to not take over this talk for too long
Oh, it's fine.
is I feel like every time these happen, I open the same ones. So some of them are like way more common than the other ones because
Yeah.
and I know it sounds like, oh, poor pitiful me, but like I don't know. I feel like when I open them, it's
Either
any
Temple
any
Garden or
any kind
Overgrown
of
Tomb for me.
yeah, any kind of these like special lands that we get every once in a while. It's like some of them are way more rare than the other ones, I feel like. But go ahead, Sam. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, it's all good. So another part of this, we have, due to this eclipse happening, this part of the plane, they are turning these creatures basically husks of their former selves. They become what they call calciform.
Mm.
I'm thinking, you could correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think that's going to be probably its own thing. I wouldn't imagine they would want to just rehash something to where they can't attack or block, but it is a permanent thing. So who knows?
Yeah, so then in calciform, like they might be like stiffer, but then they're like immune to osteoporosis. It's just
Yeah, they so what it says here directly from them is that they lose their desires, emotions, connection to the world outside, eventually turning husks who cease movement entirely.
wait, did they just give Magic the Gathering creatures seasonal affective disorder?
Yes.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
So
So
I'll take your vitamin D, people. Like if you're in the Midwest, there's a good chance that just make sure that you're not deficient. I don't know. It's really easy to be deficient in vitamin D around these parts. That can help with those symptoms. But yeah, carry on.
I have a guess with this connection that we've made. Is this a way to say that Lorwyn is based off of the state of Washington?
I feel
Hmm.
like it's more of Lorwyn
Okay,
is Ireland, while Shadowmoor is England.
okay,
Ah.
okay. That makes sense. I was just making this connection because we've got Merfolk back. We've got seasonal effectiveness disorder or seasonal affective disorder. We've got who loves Merfolk? Prof. Where does Prof live? Washington, I believe, or Oregon. I don't know. I don't
If
know. Sorry. This is poor connections. It's
so,
been a long
no,
day.
it's all
if
It's
connecting.
50 degrees in this
Everything's
garage
connected.
here. I'm freezing my butt off. What's
uh,
up, Josh?
I was gonna say if Nathan pulls down that sheet behind him, it's just like a cork board with red strings just strewn about.
I don't know.
We've you have to herd these kittens, Sam.
Yeah,
what's the
we're
next
getting all
direction?
out of the box. I think it
All
would be
good.
cool if there's like a imprison on the moon type effect for every single color in
Hmm.
this set instead of just giving white more. Like when I think calcify, I think white, and I mean white already has so much of that, but if you found ways to get those kind of cards in every single color, I
There is a
think
way
that
to
would be
probably make it
interesting.
colorless.
That's true. So
What
what was
I'd
the
like to
question,
see
Sam?
from it, well, what do you want to see from this plane of cards that we're seeing? We know what we've seen from Lorwyn and what Shadowmoor has to offer when they were separated. Now they're kind of married back together, existing coexisting at one point. You know, we do know that there was kind of like infighting when that happened because identity crises. But what do you want to see specifically from this plane? Anything particularly that we know that they're going to be basically their both forms are going to be merged together and they're going to be a whole separate identity on that plane of existence. So you could take any of these creatures like Sig,
Hmm.
who is now blue white,
Hmm.
but now would they be colorless afterwards from going there, or would they be total one card as blue white with a separate effect?
I don't necessarily uh
Or do you
maybe
think they're not going to go heavily into it?
I don't know if they'll necessarily be colorless. I think the uh dampening like in the eclipse zone like you mentioned the ashlings instead of going for black from red to black, which makes sense because the if you have like a fire going strong during the day, it's or like it's red, and then if the fire goes down, you have like the charcoal, and so then the blue flame isn't out. It's just different. I mean, technically it's hotter, but you know, I think this realm is going to more push like this weird state. We might see some color breaks, color pie breaks and stuff like that in this kind of weird eclipse state. And I'm also looking to see it get weird with maybe it's not spoiled or anything like that, but it'd be cool if there were some like combination types like fairy merfolk or something like that that like they start to like blend in these in the eclipse and things kind of get we get like hybrid tribes, so they're not as separate as they and feral as they once were, but they might start to mend and become one and get some cool hybrid creatures. I don't know if
Mm.
that's possible. I'm pretty dumb to Lorwyn lore, so how dumb does that sound, Sam?
Hmm.
I mean, anything's possible.
I think it'd
Um,
be interesting to see, like, so say the regular Sig is blue one side, white the other side. I think when you get to the like molding of the two, maybe um, there's like another Sig like ultimate version that's blue and white at the same time that you pay all together. Because we've had certain sets that have like multiple versions of the same creature. Um, So, I mean, it would make sense to have more than one Sig in this set, along with some of the other like main creatures of the set. It'd be interesting to see if I, I mean, I think they could bring back battles in this set. To be completely honest, just with what's going on with the merging of the two, like some battles to try and stop it from happening. um, would be interesting to see, I think. And I know not a lot of people were fans of battles, but I think it's fun to be able to give the people that you're playing something to have to defend because if they don't, then you get to get the riches of what happens when they don't. So that's just me.
Hmm. I was trying to draw clues from the products they're offering. So their commander decks, there are two. One of them is called Blight Curse. It says -1/-1 drain and unleash creature combos. So it's black, red, green. And the other one is Dance of the Elements. It says summon huge elementals, sacrifice, and duplicate. And that is 5 colors and led by an elemental. Um, Not sure what that told me. And they also have theme decks with angels and pirates. But back to the commander ones. Anything immediately come to mind for anyone else?
But just like you said, like for Commander ones, do you mean there's like Commander products leaked or
Yeah, the two official decks. There's black, red, green, Blight Curse, and then there's 5 color Dance of the Elements.
okay?
So one seems to be like an evoke creature combo-y sort of thing. And it seems like it's more catered to the Eclipse side. And then the 5 color elements one just seems more harmonious. I don't know. It has Ashling on the front, so not sure what that could possibly tell us,
Yeah.
if anything.
Yeah, I mean like the other Ashling that we did see, the creature gives you mana to spend for cards that cost 4 or greater. This might just be like the big like Timmy deck of big fun creatures that cost 4 or greater. If the one that we elemental we did, the Ifrit that we got in the completely spoiled as any sort of canary in that coal mine.
They also have a Lorwyn Eclipse Draft Night box that says our new Draft Night product. Starting with Lorwyn Eclipse, you can pick up a Draft Night box and start drafting with friends right away. This has everything you need to host a Pick 2 draft event for 4 players, including basic lands, tokens, and even a collector booster to give away at the end.
Oh,
Mhm.
So that's going to be fun.
yeah, I'm looking at a
Um,
different pic of it, and it has 12 Lorwyn Eclipse play boosters, like you said, one collector, 90 non-foil basic lands, 10 non-foil double-sided tokens, and a draft insert, whatever that is. If the price is right, that might actually be pretty decent.
yeah, I could see that doing really well.
Ooh. Um, can I go completely ADD and bring up a spoiled card that just is so commander efficient? And I think it's going to see a lot of play.
Sure.
So the Formidable Speaker, the Elf Druid, it's one of the extended art cards. When this card enters, you may discard a card. If you do, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Just giving the elf decks the ability to go find their Craterhoof Behemoth and just chuck that into the hand is kind of bonkers.
And not even that, they also included a tap one colorless, tap it to untap another target permanent. So those mana
You're
dorks are gonna be working overtime.
That's also
yeah,
the world champion card,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was
which is
gonna say.
pretty cool. So I'd like to know if they get to kind of like help build those cards and then like build it
I'm
around
pretty
what they
sure.
like to do. So, I mean, that's a pretty sick world champion card. The other one, like I like to collect them because it's pretty cool to have real people in what you've got. And that one's pretty freaking sick.
yeah, the yeah, that's insane. The and that can just be in the you can just get that in a pack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, so then with that card, I've like the untap a permanent, like you untap your it doesn't say non-land term permanent, you could just do your Shrine to Nyx and then you cast it that turn. It's like or like the Crater Hoof or whatever massive threat that is absolutely bonkers.
It would be funny if like it got banned.
Hmm.
Uh, just looking at, so we've kind of talked about what we think might happen in the set, kind of looking at the expansion symbols and seeing what they are. So we've got the first one that looks like it's on just the regular, the ECL expansion symbol is like a moon with a little sun maybe inside of it. And then the expansion symbol, the commander set symbol code, is a shield with the sun and the moon on it. So I mean, with the shield, I mean that's trying to me it would be defend where you're at. So be interesting to see how that goes. I don't know. This is a lot of like speculation and seeing what we want to, you know, just seeing what we think's going to happen. But we've also been right on a couple things, so be fun to see what occurs.
Oh, there's a price on the Wizard site for the draft night. Its MSRP is 89.99.
Nice. If we can find one at Target or Best Buy,
or,
we'll be
or,
we'll
or,
be good to
or
go.
a local game store.
If they if the local game store prices them at MSRP,
Yes.
there's a lot of them that do not do that. So, and we know one of them.
Not naming any names, but yes. Um, so we've got two parts here. This is a two-parter. We do know since Una, we do know that she's making kind of a show with a cameo with the Bitter Bloom Bear on the it's going to be the serialized version. We know
Mhm.
that they're at least teasing her in that way. We do have a stand-in queen called Queen Aura, Oura. I'm expecting to see both a new reprint of Marilyn and the other queen, and hoping to see that kind of infighting. But that's just the second part is I don't know if anybody knows it. Is the empathic web called the thought weft. Anybody here know that?
Nope.
No.
All the Kithkins on that plane of existence, both Lauren and Shadowmoor, they're all tied emotionally and thoughts through what they call the thought weft. It's how they're able to connect with one another. If something's happening, they can let everybody know within their group, and it's immediately they can jump to action. That's why a lot of the older cards talked about the thought weft. I'm curious to see how that's going to be interpreted because a lot of those Kithkin cards would profit from each other, bounce off each other, coherently. I'm wondering how it's going to affect since both planes of existences are merged together on how that's going to affect them.
I wonder if they, like with like the Kithkins and stuff like that, having like that mind meld, like that web connection. I wonder if any of the ham-fisted Spider-Man cards we got were originally going to be like various Kithkin designs, and they just kind of shoved them into a Spider-Man costume and put slapped them in the packs.
Uh, Aside from that,
You just ruined Lorwyn for Sam. You
oh
found out
no,
you
no,
found out
I
what
was
would
reading
ruin
something else.
Lorwyn.
No, by all means, if you're going to call something out, I want it to happen. I think that's
The,
hilarious.
so I thought Nathan was laughing because he thought of Kithkins getting shoved into Spider-Man costumes and them not fitting so great.
Curious to see on how any the other Kithkins are going to like play out since they
Mhm.
kind of got the better hand of the stick on this merriment of the plains.
Yeah, the red-white Kithkins with the pointy teeth, those things were freaky.
Yeah,
Those were unsettling. Those were some like Courage the Cowardly Dog
Those are the
looking villain.
Kithkins that got with their parents got with orcs, because Kithkins are like basically like hobbits. So it's the Kithkin goblins, babies, in my opinion. I don't know. Sorry, guys.
right.
So
We do
maybe
have one elemental god. so far what I've seen. I don't know if we're going to get any other ones here, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I'm sure we will because we've got quite a few, couple different elemental incarnations. We've got deceit, emptiness, so I'm sure like loneliness, sadness will be other like different
Well,
elemental
I mean
incarnations.
I'm talking about the gods themselves.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's gonna, if we have multiple incarnations that are giant
Yeah,
creatures, then we're gonna have multiple gods too.
hopefully. I
I would
think the
think.
reason why they teased this one is because one is the Herald of Dawn and the other one is the Herald of Moons. So
Yeah.
one cannot exist without the other. But while
Yeah.
one's walking on the plane, the other one's sleeping. So
Well, is that God not responsible for like the day-night cycle?
no,
No?
no, that
Carrier of Dawn and Carrier of Twilight is the
it's
one.
basic. There, I mean, I'd like to think that it's more of they represent on what Lorwyn's doing to the plane. So like wherever it's stepping, it's affecting the plane itself because it's like directly of the energy of the plane existing through their system.
Yeah, it's kind
So
of
it's
interesting that you
like a
can just,
scion or something.
it's interesting that you can just pay and flip a lot of these dual dual sided cards. Instead of like having to do something in the game, you just pay a different color and it
Yeah.
flips.
So far, we haven't seen anybody that just transforms with day or night. It looks like it's more of you just transform whenever you want now, since those two planes of existence are now merged. I don't know if we'll
Yeah.
see any day or night now.
Maybe
But
that's the whole eclipse feeling is you're just falling under
Yeah,
the
it could
eclipse
be
so you can kind of
either
do whatever
or.
you want.
This might be the better way forward for doing that too.
well, that's the thing.
We've
It's you have Lorwyn and Shadowmoor being as one, but now you have the eclipse that's sitting off to the side. Um, Obviously, as time goes forward, we'll see more of it. We've only seen a couple, like
yeah,
when they teased through the story, they showed one plane of existence within the Eclipse realms. They're not talking anything about it, but it looks pretty good because it looks like they've got the Aurora in the background, but instead of being brightly, darkly green, this is now more of a electric blue. I'm kind of curious on how that plays into everything.
they do have important dates on the site. It says December 8th through 16th. The main stories will be released. I guess those are just, the blogs on the Wizards website. And it doesn't say anything about spoilers, but I assume it would follow those main stories because it comes out in the first week of January. So,
I have a
oh wait,
question, Sam.
Yes.
Where is Ashiok?
Oh, I think the last time we saw it was Outlaw.
Yes.
Um,
Well, but that was Jace though.
that's what I'm saying. Like the only thing that we've heard, like we don't know if the last thing I remember was because Ashiok could not be affected by the oil. Jace was tasked with eliminating, well, it. Um, so I think we do not know anything right now, concrete at least.
Because I could see, I mean, Ashiok's really good at making people feel like terrible about themselves. So I could see Ashiok being taking over and making like putting a damper on Lorwyn too, since, maybe they got bored on Eldraine. But that's just my opinion.
I guess the last time we saw them was Eldraine and Duskmourn. So who knows? So still out there.
Also, I would like to shout out the design team's restraint in not making the Carrier of Dawn or the Carrier of Twilight dragons because they have kind of like that dragon body and they kind of shove a dragon into every set. So them
yeah.
having this I mean they put a dragon into Bloomborough even. So I do appreciate the restraint of not making any of these dragons.
You might change that depending on what gets released soon. So hopefully you didn't set yourself up for failure.
So I'm calling it here right now with my full chest. There will not be a single dragon in Lorwyn Eclipse. There won't be a single dragon in there. Calling my
Hey,
shot from out here.
guess where there's not a single dragon anymore as well, Josh?
Oh, where?
In in my decks. I took apart my dragon decks.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, I took apart like 5 or 6 decks.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I know it could just be bad luck saying this. Nicol Bolas can still make a comeback somehow.
Hmm.
True. True.
Um, we know that Tezzeret is still out and about, so I mean, anything's possible. Hoping that we take a break from that storyline, but
Anything is
Yeah, I
possible.
think this plane. I know we are calling out other planeswalkers. This might just be it might just have enough of its own drama that it doesn't need an external.
if yeah, if they're going with the actual lore of even with the mending and the whole of changing of everything and everything's all at once, I don't think we'll see any planeswalkers on this set. We
Yeah,
shouldn't.
Who
They
are
might
the
tease some, but
who are the main guardians of this plane, Sam, during the invasion?
there really is none. Basically the Kithkins from the Shadowmoor side is what they have on here story wise.
But there wasn't like one or two that kind of, you know, how like on other planes there were during that set you had some of them team up and fight against the invasion. So there wasn't that for lore one.
It was more of everybody banding together.
Hmm.
Um, when
Maybe,
when these carriers came out, everybody thought that they were going to be evil. They kind of just exist to exist. So it's more of you fight for your own, and that's where the problem is. Most of the races on this plane are all basically xenophobic. Like if you're not them, they don't like you.
hmm, it's kind of a
oh, it's
Um,
so
un,
it's so good.
maybe that's why we didn't go back to lore one for the longest time because that's not the I don't know.
I think not having like a clear good guy, bad guy can be nice. It's just kind of like we're watching like almost like a nature documentary of watching how like the lions deal with the hyenas, deals with the cheetahs, deals with the this, that, and the other to kind of see the different everyone's
yeah.
just kind of vying for the same resources in different ways with like whatever mechanical benefits they have and just going from there. It's not like good or bad. It's just they're just surviving. Keith, what's up?
Keith, you're
Yeah,
fingering?
the page I'm on right now talks about the adherence of the sun and adherence of the moon. So it's people in favor of either the day, the Lorwyn side, or the Shadowmoor side. So it just seems to be people banding around those incarnation gods
Hmm.
and or elemental gods and what they sort of represent. So I guess it's sort of two-sided. I guess this gives more of a concrete sort of struggle going on.
Well, unfortunately, to any of ED fans of Boggarts, they suffered the most casualties during the Phyrexian invasion, so we might not see many of those.
Yeah, closest thing I could like compare those two, they're like satyrs or something.
Well, I mean, we know in the Commander Death set coming out, we're getting an Auntie, which is a Boggart slash Goblin. So, I mean, that, but I don't know. There just might not be that many because every other, all the other ones except the Kithkins, they kind of just
Hmm.
tried to hide. So,
Oh, I'll just read the first line of one of the moon and one of the sun. It says the worshippers of Eridu lay claim to all of Lorwyn Shadowmoor and seek to convert the entire plane into Lorwyn. And then the opposite would be true for the adherents of the moon. It says the worshippers of Isilu lay claim to all Lorwyn Shadowmoor and seek to convert the entire plane into Shadowmoor.
Ooh, so
kind of
maybe the ones that are for the one side are gonna fight the ones that are for the other side, maybe. To try and see who.
Well, we don't know. With the story that they've had so far, is they're trying, since Una's not pitting everybody against each other, they're trying to have prosperity. Obviously, there's going to be infighting, and we'll probably see that spill over into everybody else.
Live long and prosper, prosperity. That's why we're getting a Star Trek set.
Yeah.
That's you called it, Sam. See? This set it really is kicking off every single set of the year. Josh, you're fingering.
Yes. Okay, so I have some lore for you.
Queso, cheese. Yes.
Yes. Brian, Stout Arm, the two and Boros Giant Warrior with lifelink. His flavor text is Bogarts and disturbing bits of Bogarts flew through the air with alarming and untidy regularity. That so Brian Stroudarm throwing the said Bogarts into Star Trek into space so they could participate in Star Trek. So I think it's confirmed.
An even more
Confirmed.
reach could be a Olympic set for shot
Ooh,
put.
Well, they do have what was the oh man, what
Paris.
was the original no, there were like names that they had for all these sets before they got announced that were like the fake names for them,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh, the code
a
name.
lot of them were like sports code names.
Oh, I just had the wiki open and it had its code name.
Hurry, open it. You got this, Keith.
Lorwyn.
Go back in your history.
My hands are so cold I can't type very fast. Lorwyn Eclipsed.
I mean, Edge of Eternity was volleyball.
The code name for Eclipsed was wrestling.
See, so even more like makes me think that this is like a fighting war type set, or it's a mental wrestling where
Well,
you're
what's
trying
even
to
more
like.
wild is, and this is just for the Strixhaven set, is yachting. So apparently, it's going to be an expensive set.
Either
Yachting.
either that or it's all the like families coming back to see their children in Strixhaven, and so it's like all the rich people, like affluent
Which we'll
family
go
members
into a
coming,
deep dive on
nobles and stuff.
Strixhaven, and I'm assuming within a few weeks.
Yeah. But
That'll
we
be
also
interesting.
have to remember that the Olympics are next year, so
I
winter.
only care about
Oh,
Winter Olympics.
oh,
That's
based
that's
on
what next year is. So
I know, but I'm just saying that's
congratulations.
the only one that I like.
Yes, you're
yeah,
fingering Keith.
based on past cards, Bogarts are just goblins.
Goblin D's gobbles.
Yep. I think
Happy
so.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Gobbling these gobbles. Thank you.
Well,
Happy
I
Thanksgiving from
think
Hexproof from Ward.
the
Sorry.
reason why they're called boggarts, again, this set derives from like the lore
Oh,
of
bullocks,
Right,
like,
they're like
well,
swamps.
from
They're
English lore,
the
Ireland
bogs,
lore of just they've got those, it's like their
bogs,
can't think of the name, but yeah.
They
a
live in the
bog,
bog and then they're
like a
like the
swamp. It's
yeah.
their version of a swamp.
yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And then but if I know anything about bogs and if they were killed by the Phyrexians, then they should be pretty well preserved in those bogs. So they might be able to do something with those bodies. I'm not even joking, like zombie goblins.
Oof.
Yeah, well, there's the whole calcified form thing. We don't know how mechanically that'll play out.
There's gonna be creatures that and this is where we get another
That could be a
crossover.
counter.
Okay. Hold up. Wait. There's a crossover coming. Um, what other trading card game did Wizards of the Coast used to make? What other big trading card game?
Pokemon?
Exactly. So this calcification, um, to get them decalcified, they're
I
gonna be
would actually
hold on, a Wooburg version of Lickitung, and it's gonna come in and lick. You have to pay for certain licks. It's like kicker, but it's liquor, and you pay a certain liquor tax, and you get to decalcify those creatures. I'm just saying. You heard it here
Boom.
first. Just saying.
if we're talking about
Boom,
calcified
roasted.
creatures, I feel like we're going to get a universe or a
Dentist.
secret layer of gargoyles.
Uh,
No.
so I mean, like mass calcify exists, and you just destroy all non-white creatures. So
Yeah, but
Mass
wait,
decalcify.
I'm
or
thinking
or because
Huh?
doing anime stuff, they could go do something with Doctor Stone with these calcified forms.
ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah, just like
Is
maybe
there
but going off of what Sam said with that, you have like these relics that you can bring back to life, maybe like artifacts or something like that that can become creatures. I don't know. Keith?
yeah, I was thinking along the lines of like zombie tokens and decayed. Like
tooth decayed?
uh, I mean, if you can't what decayed makes you sacrifice it or they can't attack block or something.
If they attack or block, they get sacrificed, I think,
Hmm.
at the end of combat.
Ooh, I like that
Mm,
thought. I don't think they've explored that realm a ton, so Keith might be on to something with that aspect.
What if there's a legendary dentist creature that works
might
to
be a tooth
decalcify?
fairy.
Kyle Hill's really
Yeah,
big on
Fairy.
tooth decay, so
yeah.
maybe they could write him into it somehow.
All right, where are we going next, Sam? I feel like
I
we've
mean, if we,
lost the way.
I mean, we've
I
covered
think
kind of
we need more
everything.
speculation,
I mean, we
personally.
won't know anything for a couple weeks, or at least until next week. So we could always revisit this. But aside from just
Now that
we're guessing of what's happening,
yeah,
Stay tuned to December 8th, mtgstory.com.
yeah, and we'll see people see what cards they
Did
get
I
to
find that?
spoil and show off and stuff like that. It would have been cool to have one. Maybe we'll make a fake one. Um, maybe we'll come up with our own legendary dentist or something. Um, yeah,
I will say thank you, Sam, for taking point on this episode and guiding us. I know we got severely distracted very often, so but I do appreciate you kind of being our lore guy and teeing up some questions for us. So much appreciated.
it was a lore win on your part,
Wow.
Sam.
Yes.
Wow.
Uh, with that, do we want to resolve this episode on that? Anyone else got anything?
I think that's a great idea.
sounds good.
All
Yeah.
right,
Our results.
this episode resolves. See you next
Bye.
week.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Hexproof from Ward. If you like what you heard, you can continue to listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube. You can also give us a follow on Instagram and Blue Sky. We'll see you next week.